All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So what better way to start the year off than with a viewer request video here, all right? So we're going to look at SOFI, YOSH, and Marathon. That's my cat in the background scratching, okay? Look, SOFI, I was very wrong about. I am very, very loud about my mistakes. If that's one thing I'm actually really proud of on these videos, right? And man, I'm going to talk about the 651 line a good amount, all right? I thought we were going to lose it. No. We rocket from it, right? YOSH is an interesting one. YOSH is setting up and is testing, look, you can even see it here. Break all five and fly is something I always say, right? Break all five moving averages and go. You can see it. This one just did it on a single day. YOSH is trying to basically replicate this, okay? And then Marathon. Look, I've been covering Marathon for a bit now, and I mean, it's made an amazing run to say the least, right? I think for about 2 months now, give or take, but excited to look at that one for you all. But before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad. Look, anything you can do helps me so much with these YouTube algorithms, but for real, just being here and giving me your time, giving me the comments, I'm so grateful for it all right? And then, hey, if you haven't already, check out the Discord groups. Links are in the YouTube comments, okay? So, SOFI. All right, I will obviously be talking about the immediate and what I'm expecting to happen, right? But I have to start off with this 651 line, and I'm zooming out a bit, okay? So this 650, look, most of my videos are essentially hunting, okay, it's like the opposite of this one. Let me see if there's a good one, sorry. Okay, here's a decent one. Red can turn easily into green. That's something I say on a bunch of my videos. It's one of my favorite catchphrases, okay? The problem is the exact opposite can easily happen. Green. Oops, too high up. Green. Could have turned to red. And I started getting worried. I did, because just looking at where this was, MACD was at the, right here. MACD was negative at the time, right? RSI was going down, and really volume hadn't picked up just yet, So I was worried. I really was. And again, if you watch my videos, you know it. I am much louder about being wrong than being right. I like to say why I was wrong, and then, hopefully not make that mistake the next time, right? But yeah, this 651 was a very important support. And the support line did the job. And look, even again, talking up here, we were under all the moving averages. And I was worried. There's nothing else I can say, but lo and behold, this thing starts to go. And obviously what ended up happening, and I haven't really covered SOFI in a while, right? But what ended up happening, because again, remember, we're talking about mid to late November, right? This is November 21st, but NASDAQ, come November 20th, it's going to keep on going. SPX, S&P 500, come November 20th, it just kept on going, right? Missed the first leg, rode the second leg, right? Dow Jones, DJ30, Dow Jones Industrial, missed the first leg, rode the second leg, right? So SOFI, I missed it. I for sure did. I for sure got it wrong. And like I said, this 651 support did the job that I did not expect it to. You know what I mean? I think the bigger story really comes here. Okay? Because I gotta believe the last time I talked about SOFI, I hope I said this. I'll at least say that. If not, it's something I generally say, right? But break all 5 moving averages, break all 5 and fly. All right? And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colorful lines were broken on this day. Big 12% day, and basically runs the next channel up, right? So in a quick little movement, we go from 8 something to 10 something. That's a huge what is that, 2468? That's a solid 25% gain right there, right? Gaining $2 on a stock that only has 4 sets of 2, right? So this 1008 line looks like it was a hard resistance, right? We definitely get over it once. You know, I need more than a single day, right? The doji never counts. A day after the doji is generally telling. I'm zoomed out way too much. I apologize, but let me say it again. This one candle for sure gets over it. I need more than a single day, right? This does not count. I don't like dojis as they never count, right? I often say the day after the doji is very telling. That's a little too telling. What I didn't like about this was the fact that it ate the entire day. Now, granted, a big thing I was talking about was this Friday candle was the last taxable day of last year. Okay, so for the most part, I was ignoring the Friday. Obviously, it's a little hindsight 2020, right? Like I can see it gap down here, right? So it's maybe a little easier to say. But if I'm not mistaken, give me a second. I'm trying to jog my memory a little bit. I think it was CGC. It was. Look, CGC, I didn't like the Friday because the Friday completely, like Friday ended here, it completely ate the entire Thursday candle. That bothered me, and lo and behold, we get a bad candle here, right? So again, just a thing that I don't like is when a bad day eats the entire good day away. You know what I mean? So from there, look, this is a bad doji. I don't like, that's a gap down doji. Even the highest point of the day never got over the 8. I think people are ready to say, I think we've lost the 8, and hey, I obviously see what's going on after hours. It's a pretty bad drop right there, right? Look, MACD's still positive, right? But it seems like we're gonna lose that. We've already lost it right here. And what does that mean? I like green over red. I like green over red, right? Seems like we're gonna see that same red over green on both, and then not that good of volume the last couple days. Overall, it's been good volume. I mean, geez, I would say, I guess, since right here. Yeah, pretty much since this takeoff right here on the 20th, right? But yeah, volume's been good. There's definitely been way more buying than selling. But hey, these last couple days haven't been good. So what am I expecting? Look, I would imagine the 20 moving average is going to save this thing, right? I often say if you're going to lose the 8, the 20 should do the job and hold it. If that doesn't hold, I can see this coming down to like 850, give or take. I would say 850 should be the lowest. I very much doubt we go below 821. The main reason I say that is because it looks like the 50 is on its way up. So ideally, even if this does come down over the next couple days, hopefully the 50 will cross that 821 line, and lo and behold, we'll be okay, all right? But SOFI, look, the only other comment to say is generally when all the moving averages are really tight, sometimes you go really high up, sometimes you come back really far down for no reason at all. There are a couple examples that come to mind, all right? Palantir, before the takeoff, literally goes up for no reason at all, comes down, literally goes up for no reason, comes down, and then finally goes, right? So a little bit of SOFI, a little bit actually still is. Make sure we don't come back into this, right? Like Palantir, I mean, I'm not going to go back, right? But I mean, this go up very, very easily might come down. I don't think we're going to go anywhere near the 650 in all honesty, unless the market, the indices turn, right? But yeah, we might actually like sneak down here for no reason. For now, I think 850 and 820 are going to be the lowest I'll even consider, right? But there might be a little bit of a weird moving average tornado thing happening. It's a phrase I use often, but overall, I think the big story is this 651 line. I mean, for sure, it fooled me. Oh man, this is a good weekly. Not a great way to start this week off necessarily, but I mean, that's a beautiful weekly chart. That really is. Man, there is no 200 moving average. Yeah, I mean, geez. It's really sad that we couldn't get into this. I mean, it's a great channel. Green, red. Man, 1008 is an important money line. There's going to be a lot more if this can, and hey, you know what? I mean, just looking at the daily, we ran real hot. Let's come back down a little bit and then run real hot again. That might help us break that 10 and just go up to that 13 where my next line is, right? So arguably you can say I can probably put a line right there at 11 something. Looks like some stuff happens there, but yeah, I like that just as a whole. I'll draw the next line if that 1008 breaks. But yeah, SOFI, let me know your thoughts and opinions, even if you disagree. Otherwise, you know it. I appreciate your time. Okay, YOSH. I have been watching this stock, all right? Now, there's a couple real important things I want to start with, okay? I mean, the thing looks amazing. I really want to say that, okay? It looks like after hours is not doing that well. Interesting. Again, you know I don't care much about after hours, but this video is going to be about this looking good, okay? I have to start with saying, look, to me, reverse split is always bad, all right? I say that so many times. I say that for every single stock. I don't care if it's 1 for 10. I don't care if it's 1 for 2. I don't care if it's 1 for 10 million. Reverse split is bad. Clearly, it's gone up since it's done the reverse split, right? Like this did the reverse. You can even say from here, it's gone up, okay? I see this happening. I'm actually covering this, kind of saying this is a juicy setup and might be a really interesting one, all right? I don't like reverse split stocks, okay? I might end up playing them. Again, if this does the job, I would love to play this thing. I'm not in it right now, but I'm watching it. Reverse splits are death, okay? And to me, eventually, it's going to lose this reverse split line and head on down. That's just my sincere belief, you know? This is just a momentary outlier, and hey, if you've made money during it, good for you. I'm going to try to make money on it, right? Like some rules are just that. They're rules, and sometimes they break, right? So that's my at least early disclaimer, because man, I'm telling you, I hate reverse splits. I really, really do, okay? That said, there's a lot going on right now, okay? Before the reverse split, obviously this thing was the decimal below, right? This thing was at 50 cents before. But what I really care about is just, look, this stock was just dying below the moving averages, okay? And really dying on volume, horrible volume, okay? For whatever reason, all right, the reverse split brought this thing a lot of attention, all right? It did. It brought a lot of attention. And as I look, obviously this was a single crazy volume outlier, but I don't want to, like, no one has sold, right? Like on this day, the volume was 5.2 million, okay? This is the next biggest red candle in terms of volume, right? I'm going to actually just zoom in. Oops. Did I go too much? Yeah, I did. Come on. Oh, that's so sad. You're not going to let me move one? Dang. Okay, there we go. That's the third one. You can see this is the biggest of the red candles, right? After that one. And the volume's only 300K. There were 5 million shares purchased. Now, maybe not the whole day was a buy, right? But let's just, even if a fraction of it was, right? Even if, and it can't be more, it has to be at least 50% or more, right? 51% or more for it to be a green instead of a red, right? More people have to buy to sell, right? So let's just say it was only 51%. So let's just say 2 million people bought this day, okay? And that's even a rounded down number. There hasn't been 2 million shares sold. And then on top of it, we get another little boatload of buys. And then today, another little boatload of buys. Look, reverse splits are bad. Whatever happened, people started accumulating this thing. And I like it when I see more people buying and holding than buying and flipping, buying and selling, whatever words you want to use, right? So volume seems to be looking all right, despite the obvious like outlier anomalies, right? Like to me, I'm focusing on the accumulation happening here, less so, you know, the silly outliers. And I think the other way of looking at it is, you know, it's barely noticeable, but the white line is, I mean, completely nothing, right? The average 50 is only 24K right here. All of a sudden, we're 10x that. Now, lo and behold, I think it might correlate with that 1 in 10 reverse. I don't know if volume actually flips with that. Interesting. I don't know if it does. Either way, like I said, I care less about the actual like anomaly outlier of it and more just the sheer accumulation. If that didn't make sense, throw it in the comments, all right? Next thing is, look, I'm seeing the same divergence on the RSI and the MACD. I love it when these two say the same thing to me. I like it a lot that this thing's in the positive. I like it a lot that this is still a healthy 70. What was this number right here? 81. Cool. Going from 70 to 80 makes me believe there could be a little pop. I'm zooming out to see how much higher it's ever gotten. Not that much higher. I don't think it gets much higher than this low 80. Not really. So, hey, look, that's at least my expectation. We can get maybe one little pop. More than anything, the whole story says 200 moving average. All right. We've clearly been stopped by it here, stopped by it there, and stopped by it here, right? The question's going to be, can we break this and go? All right. If we can get over the 200 moving average, if we can break all 5, this thing's going to want to go. All right. And I mean, you can see it, right? Like, what's the candle? It's probably that. Yeah, it's that. I like that. If we can get over 773, man, there's a lot of red that can turn into green, okay? Again, I do not like reverse splits. I can very easily see the 200 moving average reject this thing and send it back down, all right? I mean, it's clearly done it once right there, right? This didn't even get to it. We've hit it again. I can see it rejecting it, right? But man, that's interesting. That's interesting. And like I said, I like the accumulation here. So, yeah, this is an interesting one. This is definitely a little bit of a gamble. And like I said, you're coming off a reverse split, right? Ooh, what's your 50 moving average? 829. Interesting. Okay. 829. And what's you? What are you? 738. Where's 738 at? Give me a sec, sorry. Is that you right there? No, that's 708. No. 743. No, I like this line. I do. I do like this line. Obviously, again, there's a couple other numbers you kind of saw that you might make an early entry on. I'm happy with this. Let me know your thoughts and opinions, even if you disagree. Otherwise, let's take a look at Marathon. Okay, listen. Marathon is a beautiful example of break all 5 and fly. All right. From right here, it was so easy to be so bullish. This thing made a move and a half, to say the least. All right. We're now at a place where we've lost the 8 moving average. That was a bad Friday candle. Again, I've been talking about how Friday was the last taxable day. A lot of selling on Friday. There was a lot of red candles I was willing to forgive. That's a bad red candle. Let me just zoom in. I don't know why I'm zoomed out so far. That's a bad red candle, all right? That takes out 1, 2, 3, almost 4 entire candles on a single day. Horrible. That almost takes out an entire channel on a single day. Horrible, all right? It's interesting to see that this thing actually gaps up and opens at 26 this morning. I'm sure that fooled a lot of people because I was watching Bitcoin. I know, I'll answer this shortly. Give me a second. I know we talked about 45K last night. Bump, right here. So literally, we were watching Bitcoin move up last night, all right? And I'm sure that's a big reason why this thing gapped up. And I will be honest with you, I wasn't playing the mining stocks. There were a couple other ones I was fortunate to be ready on, but this would have fooled me for sure. I probably would have picked up hard right there. I probably would have. Because again, Bitcoin had gone to 45. We just gapped. We were down here on Friday and we wake up to up here today, right? Like that's a hard fake. And to me, I think it's a lot of it was because this was actually a really, really bad bad Friday, you know? So we're now below the 8. It seems like we might be coming to the 20. And look, the last thing to just say is, look, green, 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 green is red, 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 red. You know I love hunting the other way around, but there are two sides of every coin, right? And that's the scary part. When you just see a sea of green, man, you might get a flood of red and just let the lines tell you what to do, right? That's the beauty of this thing. But yeah, it kind of seems like we're going to be headed to the 20 moving average. Looks like the MACD is going to slip. We've already seen the slip on the RSI, and that just means I like the green lines over the red lines. We've slipped. We see the red line above it. It seems like the red line is going to be above the MACD, right? That's bad volume the last couple days. Yeah, look, again, as long as we can hold the 8 and the 20, this should be okay. All right, and one more time. That's a rough morning today. That's a fool some of the best traders out there morning right here. All right. So I don't know if Marathon Mara, I don't know how you say it. I don't know if it fooled you. Again, I am lucky I didn't have eyes on that this morning. If not, yeah, I would have screamed in the Discord, Marathon, here we go. You know what I mean? So, hey, let me know your thoughts and opinion. Oh wait, no. We didn't even look at the weekly. What am I doing? It's not a good way to start the week. It's not. And look, today's a single day. Today's single day almost hit most of the weekly volume. Today was a bad sell day. Today was a bad sell day, actually. Tomorrow, I know this is a weekly candle, but give me a second. I think 22 flat is a really important line. Where's 22 at? Is that U, the top of U? Yeah, basically, it's actually maybe even the bottom of U. Your low was 20. Yeah, this cannot lose. I'd be a little scared if this loses $22. It'll be a fast drop down to this $20 20 moving average. That's an extra 10% right there. And there's a bit too much green, 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 green under that 20. So don't lose the 20. That's a huge important thing right here, right? Green, 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 green can turn into red, 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 red and take us down a little too close to that 50 moving average, all right? So, hey, let me know your thoughts and opinions. Otherwise, as always, thank you, and happy New Year.